All right. Welcome in. I'm sorry, Vince. I cannot do the purple and blue. You gotta be red. My apologies. Welcome in. Vinchester versus Sebastian in the ShenAiXie Grand Finals. We've come a long way. It's all come down to this. I don't remember how many days in a row I've been streaming this tournament. It's been like 9 or 10 days in a row. I was doing it like 3 or 4 days in a row before I took that day break. So it's basically been 2 weeks of me casting this tournament. I'm ready for this. I'm hyped for this. And let's jump right into it. So we've got Vinchester starting off with the Persians here. Really good civ. We've seen the Persians do great things in this tournament. And Sebastian is kicking it off with the Byzantines. So these are the 4th overall picks for both of our players. And interesting matchup. Very interesting matchup. Persians have the faster working TCs, so their villagers produce a little bit faster. You'll see the villager count slowly creeping up for Vinch over Sebastian. Probably going to be like 2 villagers early on in Feudal Age. It's usually like 4 by the time Castle Age hits, something like that. Depending on timings, of course. Persians also just have a pretty solid tech tree. They have fully upgraded ranged units until Imp, and then they become trash units. They've got really good cavalry, really good hussar. They've got camels. Savar is always an option super late in the game. We've seen it a couple times in this tournament, which is surprising for how expensive of an upgrade it is. Good gunpowder. They've gone cav archers before. They've got good cav archers until Imp. Yeah, just a really solid civ. Good eco, good options, strong units, good late game. So really, really solid civ for the Persians. But Byzantines also have been really, really good in this tournament. We saw them get kind of hard countered last time for Sebastian yesterday against the Aztecs. There just weren't a ton of options to go against a Meso civ. But I think, generally speaking, the Byzantines are extremely strong here. They're spending less resources on their counter units, which we usually see a lot in Arabia. I'll put it that way. Skirms, very popular. Spears are usually a must to add in at least a few. And in this matchup, I think cheap camels can be pretty relevant. So we shall see what the compositions are here. Obviously, Byzantines, they have the cheaper imps as well, so they can hit pretty good timings late in the game. Their tech tree is wide open. They've got good monks, fully upgraded ranged units. They've got, you know, gunpowder late in the game, all that kind of stuff. So Vinch is going to kick things off with the patented Vinch 2 militia rush here. This is Vinch's favorite thing to do on Arabia. It does, I will say, Sebastian fails the Ibex lure. Looks like he failed it twice, actually. He had to shoot the Ibex once. And then, well, it's going to wander back. But yeah, the 2 militia rush does usually find pretty good value for Vinch. It's usually not in the vein of actually like killing villagers, but he can usually either get damage on his opponent's military, harass a resource, you know, whatever it may be. Sometimes my favorite Vinch build, which we'll see if he does this here, is 2 militia rush into an additional 2 militia and then men-at-arms upgrade in the next stage. I really like that one a lot. I think that one can do some nasty things to the opponent, because you see the 2 militia and you're like, okay, it's just 2 militia. You're not really worried about it. Then if 2 more show up and they're upgraded, suddenly you can get hit with a lot of damage very quickly. All right, Feudal Age on the way for Sebastian. Vinch is going to get Loom and then click up. It's a pretty delayed Feudal Age for Sebastian as well. I wonder if he decided to wait just based off of, and as Vinch is still being super annoying here on this Ibex, man. Oh boy. Now Vinch has the HP lead as well, so Sebastian's gonna have to fall back until Feudal Age at least. But, what was I saying? I'm losing my train of thought now. Oh yeah, I wonder if Sebastian did delay that Feudal Age a couple extra vills, knowing Vinch was going to be up later, because Vinch, more than most players, really does like to go up to Feudal Age later. Obviously, that's somewhat influenced by the amount of militia rushes he does, but Sebastian maybe allowing himself a little bit more leeway here. He actually went up without Loom even, which is very brave, faced up against this pressure. Alright, but as you can see, Persian TC's Vinchester's going to be about 2 villagers up by the time he's in Feudal Age. Alright, Barracks is down for Sebastian. He goes for the archery range next. That's usually a good idea against the infantry. And it's an archery range opening for Vinch. Interesting. Scouts is more common, I will say, but like I said, Persians do have fully upgraded archers crossbows until Imperial Age. Spearman coming out, looking for a cheeky little hit on the scout, but Vinch is paying attention. House walling behind here is Sebastian. He's taking a peek around Vinch's base as well. I assume he saw the range, yes. So skirmishers starting to be added in from Seba as well, taking full advantage of that Byzantine cheaper counter units. All right, and we'll settle into it. We shall settle into it. Vinch is doing a really good job of keeping an eye on his units here. He's adding in a stable behind, all right. We want a couple more scouts now to deal with the skirmishers. And Blacksmith comes down as well. Nice build for Vinch, honestly. Fording the second production building that fast, plus the Blacksmith, is really nice. Does come at a bit of a cost, though. Only 5 farms down for Vinch. It is already 10 for Sebastian. Sebastian has foregone a horse collar here, which always pains me to see, but it's not that bad. And, well, we have a bit of a kerfuffle ahead. Scouts without any upgrades, so Skirm's able to pick off the weak ones after engagements against the Spearmen. It's a good fight for Seba. It is a good fight for Seba. Only 2 archers and a scout left on the field for Vinch. More spears showing up, so the scout can't take a free engagement against the Skirms. Extra hit in there as well is nice. Militia have decided to take a break after battering down this wall. And Blacksmith behind for Sebastian. I really would like to see Horse Collar come in here eventually for Seba. He's floating a lot of food. And he's got a lot of stuff in the queue, right? So he's got plenty of wood to spare, I think, for the upgrade. Villager down. Walling Villager caught out there. But spears are going down for the reinforcements for Seba, so the scouts should find a decent engagement against the skirmishers back here. Fletching is now in for Sebastian. Also militia getting some hits in. Alright, the militia's lifespan is quickly coming to an end here. One goes down, the other will... Well, we'll see if it can get some damage in on a spearman or something. Wheelbarrow coming in for Sebastian. I mean, it's probably worth it. His farming eco is really good. 14 farms. Finch is getting there. He's up to 12 now. So he's starting to match. As Sebastian gets on to gold. And we could see a Castle Age coming in here for Sebastian pretty soon. Market for Vinch. He could, well, he couldn't really. Invest in fletching. His food eco is not quite there for a Castle Age anytime soon. Walling villagers, have to be careful behind this. That's getting to be a pretty hefty amount of skirms, so they can lob some damage over these walls. Market for Seba. Don't think he... Well, he might use it to get up. We'll see. Good micro here from Vinch. He does lose an archer, though, and the wall's down. Second range back here for Vinch. Usually that signals cav archers. It might just mean he wants more skirms, though, to be honest. This pressure is getting to be pretty radical. Scouts diving while the spears are separated. Castle Age for Sebastian. He did click... Well, he used a little bit of market, but he clicked up without selling his stone, at least. Skirm's doing a good job of sniping down the archers behind. Really good job, actually. And spears take the best fight they can. It's actually a really good fight. It is going to be a full clear up for Vinchester, but there's basically nothing left for him. And his opponent's going to be in the Castle Age way faster than he is. That was really good pressure from Sebastian, forcing Vinch to invest in all of this military. Scouts, especially. Really hammers your Castle Age timing. He did already sell 100 stone as well, Vinch did. He's going to try and get himself up now. He was floating some gold, so he can balance himself out. He's going to click up to the Castle Age now, but he is going to be very, very far behind Sebastian. He clicks up. Gonna be like minute 45 or something like that. Oof. Sebastian's going to wall up, and we'll see what approach Seba wants to take here with the Byzantines. Don't know what the composition is going to be. He did go Byzantine Cav Archers last game with them, but I think that was just because he had nothing better to do against the Meso Civ. Oh my god, that scout. That scout getting in on the weak villager is so annoying. It's fine. One vill goes down, we're evened back up in that regard at least. And it's going to be Knights. Knights and a second town center. Vinchester's still a minute away from the Castle Age. Seba has horse collars, getting bowsaw as well. Well, Vinchester sees the stable, so he knows what it's going to be. He's adding in a stable of his own. And probably just Knights for Vinch. I don't think you can ever go camels against the Byzantines. I think it's just going to be Knights. Seba did lead with 2 camels, though. Alright, 2TC. Monastery down for Seba as well. You can maybe start doing some relic plays. Only 1 skirm back here, and it doesn't have Bodkin. So these walling villagers will be just fine behind this house. Bench is still open up here, though. Alright, crossbow Bodkin for Vinch. He's also getting the knights out on the field. He has quite a few crossbows here, so that's a pretty good investment, I do believe. Persian TC or no, though. Seba's going to be catching up to villager count very quickly here. Scout finally goes down. Hav is pushed off of Vinchester's base temporarily. He is mixing in some camels. as Seba drops his third TC. Siege Workshop at home for Sebastian as well, so he just wants to ride out the eco advantage. Vinchester had to sell his stone as well to even get up to the castle age, so it's going to be difficult for him to actually get into TCs, even if he wants to. This does mean Sebastian's going to have to pull off a defense here. Scorpion's coming out to try and deal with the crossbows because they are the issue right now. Byzantines with the faster heal speed. Monks coming in clutch here, maybe. Look at that HP zoom back up. Beautiful. Alright, well, a bit of a... starting to look like a replay of Sebastian's Game 7 versus Sato here. He's got his little base with the hole right in the front. Vinchester's starting to mass up stuff in front. He does add in the second TC. Kills a villager there as well. Is nice. Scorpions are out, though. Dishing out a lot of damage into those crossbows. Monks behind. Crossbows can't snipe them. Conversions come in on the cavalry, at least some. That's a good fight for Sebastian. That is a good fight for Sebastian. Alright, Seba takes the eco lead for the first time today. And we'll see what the plan is here for Vinch. Do you add in another TC and try and keep up the eco? The Persian eco advantage? Or do you start trying... it's tough though, right? Suddenly you're behind on military. Seba's going to start taking relics while he's out here. Vinch has to go for a siege workshop in his base now. Alright, so Sebastian's probably going to try and put on forward pressure, just collect relics behind, get his eco rolling behind, force the issue while he can. Vinchester goes for the third TC, it's on stone as well. No wheelbarrow yet for Vinchester. First relic comes in for Seba. Ooh, that monk is denied. He was trying to sneak this relic. He actually tried to snag the relic that was literally up against Vinchester's housing foundations. That's a Viper move right there. That is a full Viper move. Handcart coming in as wheelbarrow is clicked for Vinch. Sebastian also heavy on stone. He's thinking about castles. This is the point in the game where you start thinking about map control and resource control. So this is an important area. Stone and gold. Something up here would not be too bad to start locking down these golds in the front. Vinchester's going to have to start thinking about his side areas. But the pressure has arrived at his walls. Camels in the front. Scorpions behind. Also monks behind. Sebastian's going to try and grab this relic again. And Vinchester's going camel pike against the Byzantines. Doesn't feel great. There's that relic. He's going to start bringing it in a little bit closer. Camels. Take a couple hits from the spears. Monks. Vinchester might have to delete these guys. He's got to be careful here. Okay, he's going to snipe the monk. Mangonel in defense for Vinchester gets a nice shot on these scorpions. But Sebastian's now up to 85 villagers. He really wants this relic really bad. He's already taken the one from over here. So he's got 2. He should never lose this one. I don't think there's any way he cannot get that one. So that's going to be 4 in for Sebastian already. He doesn't know where the other one is yet. And Imperial Age for Sebastian. Man, this is a brutal build for Sebastian. He has the military lead, the eco lead, and the timing to Imperial Age is better. Castle right there in the middle of the map. It locks down this gold, some wood lines in the middle. And market wall. Nice. Bill goes down, but he's just trying to delay this army from running in on the castle. Gotta be real careful here. Conversion's coming in. Gonna be 2 camels and a pikeman get converted. Sebastian might have to take a rough fight here in order to get his castle up, but it's gonna be worth it. Castle does go up. Managed not to lose too much there. Monks do go down for Sebastian. He's trying to wall in the camels. Ooh, that was actually close. Gonna take this gold. And, well, Vinchester is not too far away from clicking up to Imp himself, but he's probably clicking up right about as Sebastian hits Imp, which is a tough timing to have to deal with. And Giga archery ranges here for Sebastian, probably just thinking Arbalest, right? There's Imp. Chemistry gets clicked immediately. Trebs are going to start coming out. These camels are not long for this world. Imperial Age is clicked for Vinch, but he's 2 minutes 40 seconds away. Heavy camel coming in for Sebastian. Oh boy, what do the Persians make at this point? If you can get into camel Arbalest as the biz, that's a really tough composition. And this is the best fight your camels are ever going to take, Vinch. Both players backing up, though. Sebastian doesn't want to take it necessarily. He doesn't have to before these upgrades come in. Another castle here for Sebastian. He is all about this middle control right now. Castle for Vinch in defense. Only a minute and a half away now. Eco's looking real good. Sebastian does have 4 relics. Cataphract. Well, it's getting ganked a little bit. It takes less bonus damage, I think, right? Is that true? Is that how that works? Alright, heavy camels in. Treb is out. Vinch still has 30 seconds until he's in Imp. Bombard cannons can now come out. Now oh, it's not Arb, it's hand cannon. Hand cannon camel is also pretty good here. Hand cannon to deal with the pikemen, the halb. Camels to deal with the cavalry. What else do the Persians have? Well, we'll see. They have their own hand cannon, I suppose. But these trebuchets are going to be really knocking down this castle pretty quickly. Conscription going to come in. Vinch has to start repairing. Still no trebuchet coming out for Vinch. His wood eco is kind of... well, it's unoptimal, we'll say. Conscription will come in, but I don't know how long the castle's going to stay up after that. And it is going to be hand cannon defense from Vinchester. Byzantines can just go skirm though, right? Full Byzantine skirm beats everything Vinch is making and teching into here. Castle goes down. The monastery is going to follow next as iron casting comes in for the camels. I think Sebastian's just too fast. I think he's just been too fast to everything. I do not think Vinchester is going to have the army big enough or ready enough for all of these hand cannons, unless a gigantic mango shot does not come in. Does Sebastian try to steal this relic? Is he thinking about that? There is a monk still here. Okay, he's converting camels in the back, I guess. And Siege can move forward now for Sebastian. It's going to start taking out all these production buildings as well if he actually moves the Siege forward. Finch is hitting the market real hard. Trying to get bombard cannons out, trying to get hand cannons out. Armor coming in for the hand cannons. Sebastian doesn't have that. Was that bombard tower? Was that bombard tower that Sebastian just researched? I only saw the tail end of it. He's stonewalling the map. Crazy, and he's got outposts everywhere. Look at the vision! Look at this Byzantine vision. He literally can see, he's playing on all visible right now. He can only not see the back of Winchester's base. That's nuts. That's absolutely wild. He sees the entire map. Wow. Cavalier coming in for Seba, which is going to rip through these hand cannons if the camels don't already. Inscription is now in for Seba. He's getting the armor for the hand cannons. Trebs might have to back up for now. Lots of stables behind. He does show a Cavalier. Paladin, Byzantine Paladin coming in for Sebastian. What a Giga Chad move. Against the Persians as well, who have really good Halb and way better Paladin option in the Savar, but I suppose Seba knows he's so far ahead, Winchester can't tech into that right now. It could be a throw, though. It could also be a throw. And Paladin's in the most forward stable. It's a super long tech. It's going to be denied. Unless Winchester starts hitting the castle instead. I can't believe you've done this, Sebastian. Not like that. No. 45 seconds left, and the Paladin is denied. Does Sebastian realize? He's going to realize when he looks at his res and is suddenly floating thousands of resources in every category. That's really bad, actually. Okay, he gets it again. From where? Okay, it's behind the castle, so that's probably pretty safe. Trebuchets moving on over here. Cavalier, honestly, are doing the job for now anyway. They're killing villagers on the gold. Finch remakes his castle right where it was before. He does need to keep this back area secure. There's gold back here, there's stone back here, even some farming eco. But the army is coming in for Sebastian. It's coming in real hot. This is a lot of hand cannons now. 31 for Winchester. Raid was great over on the side. Raid coming in on the other side as well. Bombard cannons working away at the new castle. Bastion kind of throwing away his Cavalier right before Paladin hits. He's trying to keep the Treb alive, but that does not happen. He doesn't snipe the Bombard cannon either. This castle won't stay standing for too long. Treb, defense. Oh, the hill, I suppose, saves that Bombard cannon, huh? Paladin's in. We're Paladin gaming right now. And Paladin almost snipes that Treb. It doesn't matter. GG comes in. There's no way. There's no halbs left. The wood lines have been decimated. Vinch is literally only taking wood here, where Paladins are already raiding. He's out of gold that he can take reliably. And really, really clean game one for our boy, Seba. Game 2, Sebastian versus Winchester here in the grand final. And I theorized before the game that maybe Vinch would go for a top tier civ of his, try and get on the board, but no, he's gone for the Franks instead. And it's going to be the Tatars for Sebastian also. Well, we didn't see it game 1, but Sebastian is a big lamer boy. And he's doing it again. Vinchester's tracking this scout. And, well, he's going to take 2 goats. Vinch has found the elephant, both of them. It's going to be a little tough for Sebastian to steal those, and he might just go home now. 2 goats is 2 goats, right? Vinch will start taking his elephants. Nice. And this is something I like about Sebastian, is he doesn't overcommit, right? We saw Sito punished a little bit yesterday against Sebastian, trying to lame him and committing a little bit too much. Sebastian's good about, okay, I found some laming. He didn't get greedy, didn't try to take the elephant when he knew Vinch's scout was around, nothing like that. Didn't keep hanging around, hoping for additional goats found or anything. He just takes a couple, goes home, finds his own stuff. Okay, Tatars versus Franks. It's an interesting matchup. I do prefer the Tatars here, I do believe. Franks just feel like they don't have what they need on Arabia at the top level. They're a favorite at the lower levels, but it just isn't... They don't have the flexibility, I don't think. And their eco bonuses are okay, but they're not great either. So, like, they're kind of in this weird space where they're not bad, but they don't have any big advantages over a lot of these other civs that we see picked here. Obviously, they're still better than a lot of civs on Arabia, but when you're up against other civs like the Tatars that can hit some sick timings, that have a fairly wide open tech tree, stuff like that, gets to be a little difficult. So we'll see what the game plan is here for Vinch. Franks usually are just cav spamming, right? Though we saw Leary go archers with the Franks, and it worked out okay for him. He didn't win still, but he didn't lose as bad as I thought he was going to. And equally, we'll see what the plan is for the Tatars here for Seba. We've seen quite a bit of different approaches with the Tatars throughout this tournament. I still do contend that crossbow is the way to go. The free thumb ring in Castle Age, very advantageous timing-wise. It lets you get fully upgraded crossbows very quickly in the Castle Age. Like rushing ballistics as well can give you a really, really strong army. Might be a little too all in for Sebastian, though. Like I said, Sebastian really wants to balance aggression with macro, eco behind, right? So that particular strategy might be a little bit too aggro for Sebastian. Doesn't leave a ton of room for adding in the eco behind. What else? We've seen just cavalry, including the... I'm blanking on their name. Not Conics, it's... What's their unique unit called? ShenAiXie, right? Yeah, ShenAiXie. We've seen ShenAiXie with the Tatars a couple of times. I didn't like it the way Viper did it, but Sebastian, I think it was Sebastian, almost pulled it off against Sito. Just mixing in ShenAiXie with the army composition can actually be pretty strong, just not as a main unit. Also, Tatars do get Step Lancers, they do get Camels. Late game, they get hand cannons. They miss out on the Bombard cannons, though, which could be a little awkward if this does go super late. But we'll see. Feudal Age is in. Going to be a stable opening for Sebastian. He's got the Feudal Age advantage, taking not a great fight, though. And Feudal Age now in for Vinchester. Okay, there we go. That does mean Vinchester gets the additional HP, so it's actually kind of a... I said it wasn't a great fight for Sebastian, and it wasn't. He was attacking uphill for some of that, but taking the HP off that initial scout is valuable. Vinchester thinking about diving here. He's threatening to do the Sebastian thing. Ooh, but you can't lame the lamer. Sebastian jumps in at just the right moment to prevent any goats from going down. And we'll get into our Feudal Age compositions. It is actually an archery range opening. Okay. I said Leary kind of pulled this off earlier in the tournament. We'll see if Vinchester can do the same, but your range units are going to be outclassed by your opponents real fast. real fast. So hopefully Vinchester can find value early with these archers. Sebastian going for pretty big walls immediately as well. He's got his main gold behind them, which is nice. I don't think he's going to extend the walls out to the back, but could get his stone locked down if he did. Scouts looking for some damage. Vinchester with some nice small walls around his resources though, so I don't think he's going to allow that to happen. Spearman on the berries as well. Archer arrives. First archer. Yeah, Sebastian's trying to get the walls up. Definitely being annoying. No fletching yet, but eventually it's going to start picking away at these villagers' HPs. Horse collar on the way for Sebastian as he starts to add in some farms. He still has those 2 lamed goats that he can still take underneath his town center. Scouts arrive for Sebastian, takes a pretty good fight against the spearman, and clears up the archer. Nice. Okay. Vinchester also adding in the farms. Obviously, the Franks get horse collar for free, so he didn't have to worry about that upgrade. And we'll see if he can defend this. It's quite a few scouts. There are a couple weak ones in there, though, for Seba. Fletching on the way for Vinch. Stable also being added in to contend with the skirms. Still a lot of production here for Sebastian. His food eco is nuts. I guess the extra goats help with that. 8 farms, plus he's still taking his last goat now. We'll see how his food eco looks after that is used up, I suppose. Up to 6 scouts, about to be on the field. 7 skirms, fletching coming in. Just passing. Okay, Scout takes a couple shots for free. Actually, quite a few shots for free. That's a little awkward. And Sebastian does have to go for these little snipped walls. But you do what you gotta do. Starts to become worrying now. 5 archers with fletching are doing a lot of damage to these vills trying to wall behind. So Vinch is paying attention. But pressure coming in the other direction, so Vinch is going to pull back. There's also quite a few skirms here. They're going to be doing decent damage against the villagers that are trapped in here. Skirms looking for a fight against the archers, and they're going to find a pretty good one. Archers are going to start going down. Skirms losing mass, but sniping archers, sniping spearmen. It's another good fight for Sebastian. Looking very similar to the end of Feudal Age in the previous game. And more scouts behind for Sebastian. What do we got for Vinch? He's making archers still, making some spears. Scouts trying to come out. Villagers are going to start taking damage again, though. Sebastian really wants that villager. He really wants that one villager. I don't think he's going to get her, though. He is going to... Oh, he got one last shot in there. Not quite. Other vills come out to fight. This is idle time for Vinchester fighting with these vills. KD is heavily in Sebastian's favor right now, but there are a lot of weak units right up in here for Sebastian, so that might change. He added in a second stable at home. Double stable scouts in the feudal age. Wow. Okay, I said the all-in crossbow might be too aggro for Sebastian, but he's really, I guess, not worried about being too aggressive here. He's getting the armor as well for the scouts. Second range forced down for Vinch. He's trying to get himself walled up around the back. Crazy production here in feudal age for Seba. Armor is now in. There's no more spears left on the field either for Vinchester, so things might become rather awkward for him as these scouts are pouring in very heavy numbers now. Vinch has to play very carefully here. This isn't really a fight he can take straight up, so he's going to have to use his base to his advantage. Forging coming in for Vinch to even up the upgrades on the scouts at least. Archers can also be a factor here in the scout fight, but you can't put them too far forward or they start to go down to the skirms. And maybe there's not enough skirms. Lots of scouts, though. So many scouts. There are many scouts here for both players. Sebastian trying to get a good engagement on the archers. Good micro for Vinch so far. Skirms continue to die for the archers, but the archers have been putting out a lot of DPS into these scouts. And Vinchester manages to win the fight. Really good micro there for Vinch. Really, really good. And we'll see how the players react to that fight. It's looking like Vinchester wants Castle Age off the back of that win. Still producing a lot of archers, but he's got the eco to sustain that. And Sebastian, his food eco is really good. 27 farms is crazy. Vinch places 3 more down and he gets up to 24. Alright, Vinch clicks Castle Age. Sebastian's... well, he can click up once he uses this market. As he rushes down the last few wall segments. And Castle Age comes in for Seba. He is going to be about 30 seconds behind is all. And good job here, Sebastian, hanging out with these scouts in the back, kind of forcing Vinch to keep his archers back here rather than coming forward. If the archers are up here with the scouts, it's a way different ball game here on defense for Sebastian. Bloodline's on the way. So I guess we're sticking knights in the next stage, maybe. He does snipe down 2 vills on these farms. That's nice damage from Seba. Those are the first eco kills of the game. There are some other weak ones in here. Spearman making this difficult for Sebastian. Takes a couple hits from the scouts on his way out. Or is it Step Lancers? Do you go Knights or Step Lancers here? It's probably Knights, right? Although... I wouldn't hate Step Lancers. I wouldn't hate it. Step Lancers are tough to deal with sometimes. They definitely do the business against the Scouts and the Archers. Vinch is going to have to get crossbow bodkin with this amount of archers on the field. A lot of resources, and it's tough. This is when it starts to become tough for the Franks, because, like, how long do you want to invest in your ranged units, knowing they won't continue to be upgraded as the game goes on, right? So, if Sebastian takes a big fight here, let's say, and the crossbows get cleared up, are you still adding in crossbows? Doesn't feel great to continue production, but then if you're not adding more in, are you taking advantage of those upgrades you got? You know, it's a tough decisions to make in the moment, which is one reason the Franks are a little rough to play as sometimes. Light Cav comes in, +2 armor immediately coming in as well. You can take these fights against the Knights if you have the numbers like this. Light Cav running in. The gold is open. There are spearmen back here, but they're not where they need to be just yet. Another Vil goes down. Light Cav can take the fight against the spearmen. At the front, though, Vinchester is about to break through a stable, which is actually a big deal. That's a production building, and he's going to be inside the base. Sebastian trying to mass up Knights behind. I don't know if it's enough Knights, though. The Monk could play a part here. Stable goes down. Knights are well upgraded, but it's a lot of crossbows mixed in with the cavalry. Sebastian really trying to get value out of that Monk. Gonna take the fight. He's trying to convert the Knight. He can't. And it's going to... I think with reinforcements, this should be good for Sebastian. The initial fight was looking rough, but he's able to add in more Knights behind. Still was not a clean fight necessarily, but clears up all those crossbows, and now Vinch is forced to make more. And like I said, you don't want to be making crossbows long term with the Franks, so that feels a little bit bad. It's still fine for now, but second TC for Vinchester is going to be on that back gold. Doesn't want any more light cav raids. Sebastian also finds a nice little spot for the TC on the gold. Third TC as well for Sebastian. So take a big fight. Set your eco up behind. I like that strategy. Wheelbarrow coming in. Iron casting for Vinch. Interesting to see him prioritize the attack upgrades over the armor here with the Knights. Usually it's the other way around. Obviously he's going to get both. I'm pretty sure he's going to get the armor immediately here too, but... Light Cav, some Knights knocking on the door. Monks for Vinch. He's getting in nice and close before he starts these conversions, and that's going to be 2 conversions. It's going to be 2 easy conversions. Nice job for Vinch, getting in close. Obviously, Sebastian didn't react super fast anyway, but if he had, I think those are still 2 conversions. Spears, clearing up some Knights. Another conversion at the front, as more crossbows are getting sniped down. Might be about time to stop making crossbows if you're Vinch. Feels like they're not really giving you that much anymore. Franks do have better Knights, right? It's 120 HP for Sebastian's Knights. It is, well, I guess it's not better yet. But they're even. It will be better eventually. Monks healing behind. Not a fight you can take with the Monks there either. If you're Vinch, you don't want to give those conversions back. Sebastian already has 2 relics as well, by the way. And I think he has a 3rd coming back, does he? I only see these 2 relics on them. Oh, no, wait. There's one. Okay. Knights. Looking for some damage. They've stolen a sheep. Only temporarily, though. It's a lot of Knights for Sebastian. It is a lot of Knights. Crossbows mixed in with the Knights. I don't know if I prefer that or not. Monks behind. This would be a really big fight. Light Cav dive in. They're looking for Monks. They get both. Lycav coming back the other way. Is going to snipe 1, 2 of the 3. And I don't think that's a fight you can take if you're Sebastian. You don't want to throw your numbers away against pikemen mixed in. Pikemen plus crossbows behind, it's just a better composition for Vinchester right now. Numbers are becoming rather extreme, though, for Sebastian. He's up to 20 knights, 3 stable production. His eco is also doing really nicely. The Cav runs in, maybe looking for a monk. There are no monks to be found, though. Although they are coming out. Finch, not paying attention to the crossbows. They're a little bit too far out in front. It's okay. Sebastian just takes this fight against the pikemen. Knights counter pikes, right? That's what Hera says. And I don't know, more pikemen filtering in behind. I'm not sure if that's a fight you want to keep taking. But knights in the back. There's been an overchop back here or something. It's a disaster for Vinch. Oh boy, it's a real big disaster. Sorry about that. I was trying to select the villagers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 villagers down at least here. That's 7 now. Knights are going to start running into the farms. Vinchester hasn't seen this. He's focusing on these raids. He's focusing on this fight. And now he reacts, but he's lost almost 10 villagers back here in this raid and is still going up. He lost these villagers as well. Brutal raid. A really huge raid for Sebastian. He's losing some villagers at the front, but it's not equivalent damage at all. And Vinch takes a big fight. He gets cleared up. Scorpions being added in, can deal with the pikemen. I don't know about that fight, though. Knights arrive behind, clearing up more crossbows. There are weak knights in here for Vinch as well. And it's going to be a big clear up. It's going to be a big clear up for Sebastian. Military numbers looking a little weak for Vinchester all of a sudden. Goes for the 4th TC, trying to lock down another gold. Okay, the push is on now for Sebastian. He's up near 100 Vils. Vinchester is only at 75. He's 20 behind. 20 to 8 eco KD is a big factor there. Monks behind for Sebastian, so it's tough for Vinchester to take these fights with the knights in there. Hand card on the way. And, well, we need a big fight here for Vinch. If he loses one more fight, it might be over for him. If he takes one more fight and loses it, suddenly there's like 20 knights running through your eco. The Scorpions finding good damage in here, and I think Sebastian can just take this, right? I'm quite sure he can just take this fight. He can. It's 26 to 10 military, and Sebastian goes home. The raid's in the back, maybe pulling him backwards a bit. I think you just push forward, though, through this. You can send reinforcements back here to deal with this, right? This is big damage. That's a lot of villagers down to these 2 knights. Sebastian also finding some raiding damage forward. And it's going to be a forward castle for Sebastian right at the front of Vinchester's base. And he's going to go imp behind it. Vinchester trying to go imp as well. He's got no villagers on gold, though. This is the only gold Vinch has, I suppose. Is that right? It is. Oh boy. Imp for both. Almost same exact timing. But if Sebastian just runs over here, suddenly no gold for Vinch, and what do you do in Imp without gold? I don't know. Knights back here as well are going to be finding more raiding damage. Eco KD was evened up a bit by Vinchester, but I don't think that's going to last. You can just take this TC out with the knights until maybe the monks arrive. Nice snipe on one. Knight still finding value here. Castle is up. Raid gets cleared up again in the back. As Vinch drops a castle now. Oh boy, if Sebastian saw that castle, he could have just taken that fight, honestly. If you give up a conversion, it's not a big deal. You're so far ahead. But he's playing it safe. Keshik's coming out. This could be a conversion. This monk is still tasked onto something in here. There it is. Didn't get the Keshik, that's sad. Alright, well, how does Vinchester survive this? It's 32 knights for Sebastian. And we're doing full pikeman light cav for Vinch. And it's going to be a big fight, and it's not going to be a good fight for Vinchester at all. There's just so much military in here. It's too bad he couldn't have denied that castle, but it is what it is. Army's going to run in. We need a quick wall here. It does come in, so only a couple knights get in, but this is still kind of a disaster for Vinch. And GG is called. Sebastian takes game 2. Up now 2-0. And, well, Franks don't feel awesome there, but Sebastian full committing to the cavalry there. Interesting choice, right? I talked about Thumb Ring coming in immediately being a big thing for the Tatara. Sebastian said, I don't need it. Huge production in the feudal age, caused a lot of issues in Vinchester's base. And Sebastian just never gave up the lead, right? That raid was also huge, honestly. The raid in like early Castle Age was really good for Sebastian. Welcome in game 3 of Vinchester versus Sebastian. And, well, Sebastian's gone for a bit of a low down civ here. But one of my favorites. Just a little welcome in. Let's go, Seb the GOAT. Let's go. I really would like to see him win with the Britons, I will admit. I would like to see a win here with the Britons. We've seen the Britons a couple times in this tournament drafted. I think we've only seen them played once. And they did not win. It was Hera, and he went for some weird shenanigans there. So we'll see if Sebastian can pull off a bit of a better Britons build. Magyars for Vinchester. And we know what the Magyars can do. We know what they want to do. Early scouts are always an option. It's Cav archers later on in the game. I will say, if like this goes late, Britain Arbalests should be able to deal with the Cav archers decently, right? The extra range. I know Magyar Cav archers also get an extra range. Obviously, that's not counting mobility, which is a big factor. But in a straight up fight, that might not be too bad. Maybe not. Without Thumb Ring, I'm not sure if that is... It's an interesting matchup. Tom Cruise not believing in Sebastian here, I see. Okay. I do think I would prefer Magyars in a vacuum, but we'll see. I have faith in Sebastian as well, so let's see. He's taking a peek forward now. Not really anything to steal per se. He could come around here and take some sheep. Vinchester could see that happen though. Yeah, I think you just go home. No immediate damage to be found. It's fine. Alright, we'll see what the plan is. Hera did some, like, kind of super defensive skirm opening into, like, multiple TCs. and tried to go into like longbows late. I don't think that's correct. I don't think that's right. I think he's still, I know it's obvious, but I think he's still just open archers, or you can go skirms, I guess. Build the faster working ranges, right? So you can produce more skirms, I guess. I don't think longbows are ever right. I think it always has to be arbalests just for production alone. I also think you can't be too passive. You can't just sit back and defend. You got to be doing stuff, which I do have faith in Sebastian to do. And we'll see what Winchester wants to do. We've seen players start archery range before with the Magyars. Usually they add in both a range and a stable pretty quickly. Might just be stable opening into like skirms behind. I wouldn't hate that for Vinch. And Sebastian going for the Drush, maybe Man-at-Arms. This is a Britain's classic. Is this Man-at-Arms into Skirmisher? Is that what I'm looking at right now? Looks like Sebastian's just collecting enough gold for the Man-at-Arms upgrade. Which, if it was going to be archers, he'd want to stay out here on this gold, right? Oh, maybe he will. Do we see a mining camp? The answer is, rather, no. We are going to see some walls here. The base for Sebastian is pretty bad, I will say. Gold right at the front. He's having to wall to his main gold. That always feels a little bad. Stone a bit out in front as well. Winchester's base is also quite bad. I mean, the gold's in the back, I guess, but I don't know how you even wall in such a way that you can, like, there's absolutely nothing here for Vinch to wall to. So even though the gold's kind of in the back, I think it's going to be difficult to actually secure that. Alright, Feudal Age for Vinch. It's going to be a stable opening. Bastion is still a minute away, so maybe this isn't Man-at-Arms. Militia are going to arrive, though. We did get Loom. That's a good start for Vinch. We don't always. That's a dead villager. Oh, too bad that scout went down. It could have been a second dead villager. Oh, militia running in. Hold on a minute. Can we block the way of this villager in such a way that she can't escape? Okay, we need to delete a wall. He tries to quick wall the militia in. TC gets one shot. This is good damage, though. Finch is driven off the wood line for quite a while. Lost a villager. Has a couple weak ones in here. We're going to need quick walls over here, or else the militia can just walk back in. Finch. We're going to need quick walls over here, or else the militia can just walk back in. The militia walk back in. That is another dead villager. Oh boy. This is a disaster for Winchester. Should escape with that villager at least, but a lot of damage being done by 3 militia. Who says infantry need a buff? Who says it? Look at how much damage these 3 militia are doing. Finch is massing up scouts, and their Magyar scouts already have forging, so he can take this fight. Seba probably just takes the fight, tries to take as much HP off these things as he can, but it's going to be a pretty good clear up for Vinch. But still, though, 2 vills down. A lot of idle time in here for Vinch. He's at 3% idle eco already. And things have been disrupted pretty heavily. Things have been pretty heavily disrupted, but scouts can now go forward. What are we looking at home for Sebastian? He's got some spears. He's trying to go for the big walls. He's going for the huge walls, actually. Look at this wood line. This is the biggest wood line I've seen in years on Arabia. Is this like 3 wood lines put together? Holy. Okay, walls at the front complete. Gonna take some doing to get the walls over here, though. Scouts diving on 1 spearman. I don't think they want to take the fight against 2, though. And we have skirmishers backing this up for Vinch, and he's coming forward with 5 villagers. He's looking for towers. Interesting. He wants to deny that gold. I said that gold could be a problem for Seba. Can he come out here and take this fight? Probably not, right? It's only 2 spearmen to deal with all these scouts. And the tower is not visible. So this is going to be a little bit rough for Sebastian in the next couple minutes. He does have this gold out here in the back. Maybe he can get out to that. I don't know. Scouts being added in for Seba to deal with the skirmishers. Counter tower. I guess this is necessary, but this is so awkward with the tower already up from Vinchester. Vinch is housed. Vinch is housed. Vinch is housed. Vinchester, please. Make a house. Oh boy, that's a lot of idle TC time. He does break in here, so the tower is denied from Sebastian. Seba's going to be now 4 villagers up over Vinchester, though. And I guess he's going to have to delete this tower. He does still have enough stone for another one, importantly. He salvaged just enough stone there to have another tower if he wants it. I don't know where you put it. Scouts. Trying to dive here, but Magyar scouts, right? Vinchester, well, he's not getting housed again. He's house walling this tower in. Scouts do all go down, so it's only skirmishers now for Vinchester at the front. Well, now what? Now what? I don't know. Been just thinking about another tower back here, but he's not on stone yet. House walls coming up behind this. We do have other wood lines we can take. We have plenty of other wood lines we can take, honestly. It's just going to go for a lumber camp for the time being. And, oh god. I guess that's how you get all this walled in for Vinch. He goes for 32 palisade walls. Or, sorry, 29 palisade walls. Oh, no, 28. Okay. It's a simple 28 palisade walls to get himself walled over on this side. Plus all this stuff, I guess. And Seba goes for additional walls over here so we can get back onto this gold. Skirms can still be an issue, though. And how do you stop the scouts from breaking in now? Is the question. I guess we need a tower over here, huh? Would that be smart? I think it's necessary. These scouts are going to break in. Seba has to be real careful. He hasn't made any military. He's just going to try and greed out a castle age here. I don't know about this one, Chief. We've got a lot of weak vills in here. A lot of military here for Vinchester. I really think that tower would have done wonders in the back here. He's going to have to leave. Market will allow Sebastian to click up. He's on this stone. Or he's going out to the stone that Vinchester is already on. Still cannot take gold. And, well, these villagers are not going to last. These villagers are not going to last here. Because Vinchester is well aware of where Sebastian is doing this stuff. Oh boy. He wants a castle, I suppose, but it's not going to work. These scouts being out here are a big deal. They can see this coming in. Seba tries to leave. He's taken some stone. Wall behind. Okay, it's fine. We got what? 30 stone. We got a whole 30 stone out of that. And, oh boy, double stable. Well, it's going to be triple stable for Vinchester. Wheelbarrow on the way. He is still feudal age, but he's thinking about castle age. It's a lot of skirms at the front. It's going to be another tower here for Vinchester. I think Seba probably wanted the castle right there, right? Or like here. He's going to have to go for the counter tower. Oh! Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Castle age, but for what? Alright, Finch goes to this stone now. Sebastian has snuck back out to this stone. I don't know how this villager got out here. That's nice, I guess. Osaw. Like stone walls, but they're not going to hold. So the villagers have to leave this gold yet again. And hopefully re-wall behind. There we go. Alright, this tower is going to go down for Vinch, probably. Castle Age is clicked for Vinch. TC out here. But where's the military going? It's still trying to break in over here. Okay, maybe that TC can go up. Skirms are going to come over this way, though. Will they make it in time? I think... Okay, with the walls, maybe they won't. Scouts also trying to come over here as we, yet again, re-wall this up. Yeah, this TC will complete. Villager goes down trying to wall it out. Might lose another villa or two to the skirms before it goes up. And nah, it's fine. Well, TC goes up at least. But we're about to have a lot of military here for Vinchester. Very well upgraded as well. Villagers are stuck. I don't know if you want to... Okay, well... You're not helping here, Mangonel. That was not a helpful shot from the Mangonel at all. Bloodlines is in. Armor is in. Okay, at least, well... Pikeman is in... Seba really wants a castle. He is gaining an eco lead. Well, he always had the eco lead, right? Vinchester's eco was nuked pretty early. So he always had the eco lead. This tower is going down to Mangonels. Vinchester trying to wait for the next age. He can get light cav. Maybe not. Knights. Knights and a forward siege workshop here for Vinch. The stone is not coming in super fast for Sebastian. He does go for a third TC. He's losing villagers on this stone, but scouts going down before light cav comes in is pretty valuable still. Nice shots on the skirms as well. So Sebastian's going to try and play castle defense. Castle like here, maybe over here. Up here would be nice. Just full castles to try and prevent any castle age damage. Try to take this late. Brins do start to feel pretty good, I think. Late in this matchup, but it's very late. They have to survive first. Mangonel coming out for Vinch. Knights also trying to dive. Pikeman being pulled out of position. Okay, it's fine. Ooh, nice attack ground. Sebastian had some nice Mangonel duels with Sato in his previous set. Okay, that was not a good start to that one, though. Villager getting punches in. There's the first... Oh, God. There's the first castle. I don't know about this one. Mangonel does go down. Pikemen are here. I don't know. Does this go up? Sebastian trying to quick wall around the Vills. Pike... I don't think there are enough pikemen here. Although the cavalry aren't attacking either. Sebastian is clicking his heart out, but it is going to be a doubt castle, and that's probably GG, to be honest. 97, 98.5%. Wait, there's a Vill? Blocked. GG. No, not like that. Yet another game. Ends with a doubt castle, 98.5%. To be honest, he was probably dead anyway. But that sealed the deal. He needed that castle so he could get another castle off this stone. He actually doesn't have enough stone there. Winchester already took too much of it. Alright, well, Winchester does take that one. I think that was a bit of a Civ advantage, a little bit there. But Vinch played it well, right? Just the full aggro. You can't let the Brins just sit back and boom. And Winchester gets on the board. Welcome in. Game 4. Sebastian versus Vinch. Here in the grand finals of ShenAiXie Cup. And we're staying with the lower down draft picks. Slavs for Winchester. It's the Aztecs for Sebastian. Interesting matchup. I think... I mean, I do say Knights don't usually end up countering Eagles, but... Slavs can spam Knights out pretty well, right? And Aztecs can't spam out Eagles as well as some other Meso Civs. So maybe the numbers won't be quite as bad. We'll see. Slavs do also have good infantry, which usually is not really viable against the Eagles just for mobility reasons, but it is an option. We shall see. I think Aztecs have to go Eagle spam. I don't think they have very many options. They have good monks, but like you can't just go full monk. They have okay siege, I guess. But that's not really helpful if your opponent's going cav anyway, right? They can, I guess they can open ranged units, but no thumb ring. They don't really scale great late in the game. So we'll see what the plan is here for Sebastian. I think I prefer the Slavs, which is nice for Winchester because I don't prefer the Slavs over a whole lot of Civs in this draft. So this is probably their best matchup, really. Except for, like, maybe Teutons. For now, both players just pushing stuff in. Looks like Sebastian not going super far forward this time. He's just pushing in deer. This is already his third deer he's pushing in, actually. Interesting. Bench is only started to push in his deer. And let's take a peek at the bases. Gold, quite far forward for Vinch, but you can wall out in front of it a bit. Stone right in the back is also potentially nice. I don't hate this. It's a pretty big space between the TC and the wood lines, so if you're gonna actually wall this gold completely, it's gonna be, I guess maybe you can go for like a little triangle base here, maybe, I don't know. A lot of space to wall. And Sebastian, well, berries are terrible, but Gold right in the back is nice. Stone in the back is also really nice. Although, look at this vast void of empty space here in the back of Sebastian's base. So, maybe... I don't know how you even begin to wall this either, to be honest. If you're gonna wall, you have to come all the way from over here. And I don't know if there's, like, an egg base you can really pull off. You probably have to leave your berries at a certain point, right? They're so far away. No believers in Vinch in my chat here. Brave enough to gamba on him. Boom coming in. Going to be Feudal Age after that. Sebastian went for Loom early, actually. Okay, he clicks up now. So it's all fine, not a big deal. Militia coming out for Sebastian might be Man-at-Arms, actually. I said that last game and then he didn't go for Man-at-Arms, but it actually could be this time. I mean, why not, right? He found incredible damage against Winchester with some militia in the previous game. So, may as well do it again. Obviously, it didn't end up saving him. But if that's a weakness you can exploit in your opponent, I think you just do it until he stops you, at least. Nice little quick walls around the villager to make sure that barracks goes up. Ooh. We almost had a fourth militia coming out there for Sebastian. Alright, it is going to be Men-at-Arms. And probably a stable for Vinch, which is good if he hasn't scouted the militia. If he did know they were coming, you could argue maybe a range opening is better. Scouts don't feel great to fight against the Men-at-Arms immediately, but it is going to be a stable opening. We do have small walls pre-built around this lumber camp, so he's not going to be losing any 2 villagers this time, although he deletes the wall. Okay. Rough timing there for Vinch. He's going to wall himself up from... This is actually smart. Although, a little awkward on the stable here for Winchester. He really wants this stable to complete. He did make it pretty close to the TC, which is smart for Vinch, for sure. And, well, now what? He's just gonna head on out over here. Both players idling their TC a bit here. Just not able to keep up production while making vills for a second. We're going to need an archery range for Winchester to block up this wall. Skirms are always good against Meso Civs, because you know they're adding in a range, right? Very rarely do you see someone go full infantry in Feudal Age. House is going to start going down, though. The range could also go down pretty quickly, as archers are just hanging out at home for now. Quick walls around the berries, nice. We have to repair this house as the one and only archer comes out of the range for Vinch. He's not on gold, so he can't make any more after this one. House does go down. Small walls everywhere here for Seba. There's a weak one, though. Oh, boy. Just got that tap down in time. It's not the end of the world if it doesn't happen, but... Is this walled? It looks open, but it looks like Vinch also thinks it looks open, but it is not. Sebastian has already pre-built, or pre-placed, I should say, the palisade behind there, but he manually gets his vill off of that tree anyway. Alright, archers have arrived forward for Seba, so we can maybe start to take the fights. Skirms are being filtered in for Vinch, though. Blacksmith for Seba for fletching, most likely. There it is. And, well, it's a little bit more awkward to wall behind these walls now. 4 archers with fletching. Can lay down some serious DPS into the vills if Finch isn't careful. Oh! Okay, that villager's lucky. He sends more villagers. Archers also have the hill. And, okay, I don't know why more of these men-at-arms can't get in here. They have to knock down another wall, I guess. Nice micro for Seba so far. Infantry soaking some of the damage from the skirms behind as well. Another villager saved on 1 or 2 HP for Vinch. Oh boy! She goes down. Alright, 1 villager does go down. More archers coming forward. Scouts. Haven't been able to find any damage. There's a spear here as well, but it's weak. Harassing the wood line. We need more walls behind. Things are getting messy here. It's just a lot of skirms for Vinch. They can't deal with the infantry super well. The infantry has taken some damage here, though. As I said, men-at-arms can kind of do pretty decently against the scouts. But once the infantry does go down, it's just skirms versus archers, so this should be a pretty easy cleanup for Vinch. And it is. But, well, Sebastian did end up killing 3 villagers, so some of those weak ones did end up going down. It's a really good start for Seba. Castle Age on the way. Vinch is not too far away. You can also find some decent cleanups here on the archers, kind of, but no upgrades on the scouts, so the archer's doing pretty good damage there. And, well, the skirmishers are going to feel a lot worse once the eagle spam starts. The skirms are not the unit you want massed up when the eagles start to hit the field. Infantry armor on the way. It's just the eco. That's all you need to worry about with the Aztecs. They have faster production, but can their eco support the faster production? We'll see. Armor's in. Eagles are starting to be produced already. They're pretty slow to produce right now. They're extremely slow to produce right now, honestly, even with the Aztecs. Starting to come out here, though. They can start to take this fight against the skirmishers. Scouts can't really take this fight either super well. Bloodline's on the way, alright. This is going to be as good as it gets for the knights. I've said before I don't know about knights into eagles. This is as good as it'll get. Slav knights against full Aztec eagles. Skirms snipe down 1 eagle, but the rest of the skirms go down. Alright. Let's see it. Second TC as well. Also the monastery. This is a really good idea. We have seen the Aztecs win this way before. Mixing in the monks behind the eagles can do really good things against your opponent if they're going full knights. We see a couple more scouts coming in for Vinch. Probably knows the monastery will be coming up behind. Still 40 seconds away from the Castle Age, though. Eagle Warrior on the way in. They still need armor and some attack upgrades before the Eagles can really hold their own against the Knights at all. Yeah, Squires is important as well. Castle Age for Vinch. 3 stable knights. It's a lot of knights. We'll see if he can keep up. It is Slav, so 17 Slav farms are bringing in food pretty quickly. And Vinch is looking for those monks. He's looking. Could also find some Vil kills in here. On the wall. There's not much military back here for Seba. That's going to be 1 villager dead. Second TC for Vinch, but you can't go 3 stable knights and produce out of TCs at the same time. That's just not going to happen. So he's going to have to pick and choose his battles here, whether he wants eco or more military. Like Cav on the way. He still has not seen the monastery for sure, but he's going to see it now. And knights coming in on the other side. Monks are coming out. Aztec monks are chonky, but not yet. We need a couple upgrades before they feel really good, so that should be a snipe. Knights. Getting in eco damage. That's 4 villagers dead on that gold. We don't have Castle Age upgrades in for the knights yet. It's a good raid, though. Relics coming in for Seba. He's got 2 of them. Like Kev's still running around. You gotta be a little careful with the monks. Get a hit. 1 hit. Nice. Okay, well, here it is. Eagle versus Knight. Monks behind. Gonna force Vinchester to leave. But he is picking away at the Eagle numbers. The upgrades just aren't there, right? Like I said, you have to choose your battles. You want Vinch to win, but also Aztecs. Eagles are struggling out here. There's nowhere for them to break in, right? Eagles are very strong if you can get inside the base. But Vinchester's done a really good job of locking his base down. He's also getting a 3rd TC up on this stone. So it's not been a ton of production for Vinch, just enough to knock down the Eagles. Now we're starting to get some Monk Tech Sanctity coming in. That gives extra HP for the Aztec monks, right? Gonna be a 3rd relic coming in for Seb on that side. Quick Wall did come in, but just not quite enough. And another villager goes down. Pikeman coming in. Wheelbarrow coming in. That's gonna be the 3rd relic for Seba. I think Vinchester just brought 1 back. No, he did not. Where am I missing a relic? There's 1 here. And where's the 5th one? Oh, it's here. Hold on a minute. Seba's bringing back the 4th relic as well. 3rd TC for Sebastian coming up on the gold. That's nice. More barracks. How does this play out late game? Slavs get full upgrades on their Cav, but no Paladin. Aztecs don't get Halb, but they do get, whatever it's called. Garland Wars. But Garland Wars does not make up the difference for not getting Halb against Cavalry. So I actually don't know. I'm not sure how this feels late in the game. Slavs like to go infantry at a certain point, or at least mix them in. Obviously, Aztecs do have answers for that. Is Sebastian going to be able to sneak this relic? Is he going to get all 5? Like Cav coming in? Can't hang around too long, or they will be converted, though. Slavs can pretty much go either cav or infantry SO and win. Siege Onager would be quite the one on Arabia. I don't know if you can swing SO. That's real tough. But I do think the cavalry are good enough against not getting help. And yeah, the raids are going to be tough. But, well, raids can also come in for Sebastian, right? Eagles with Garland Wars go pretty hard. He's going to have all 5 relics, which is not nothing. He's already gotten 700 gold out of that. He's going to Imp. He is going up to Imp. Oh, can Vinch steal this relic? Can Vinch steal the relic? He snipes the monk, but he's not going to be able to take the relic just yet. Vinch is going long swords. Okay. Well, that's okay. You never see Jaguar Warrior here, right? That's kind of the counter to infantry, but I don't think you can ever really get into that as a main composition, but maybe you can. I don't know. We'll see. Like Cav running around, they want monk snips. They're gonna snipe this monk again with the relic, but Sebastian has brought it back far enough at this point now, I think. Scorpions. Scorpions go really hard against Meso Civs. They pretty much counter everything Aztecs can make, right? So that's kind of rough. And longswords are coming in. They're going to break down this barracks pretty quickly. Eagles trying to dive on the Scorpions. They are taking damage as they get in here, but they will be able to snipe them down. Or at least most of them. And trying to get a castle up. Trying to get monks and Scorpions off the foundation. Castle will come up. This imp timing is going to be a little rough, though. All right, do the Aztecs have what they need to block printing coming in? That's the first upgrade Sebastian gets in Imp. He's going to get the last infantry armor. This is a converted longsword, by the way. He's not also making longswords. Imp is clicked for Vinch, and he's got a pretty scary army here. Sebastian is not... He doesn't have the best monk micro in the world. I would say that's one of his weaker areas. He does still have good... any kind of micro, but I don't know if he can handle 7 different monks trying to convert all this at the same time. While doing other stuff, right? Obviously, if that's all he's doing, he's fine, but... Elite Eagle Warrior coming in. Attack upgrades coming in. Okay. Eco is looking a little tight here for Seba, though. He does have a Treb coming out. He can start Trebbing down Vinch's castle, I suppose. Does he know about it? He does. Where is he going? He wants the hill over here? Or he's just going to Vinch's base, I guess. Well, I do say, if Eagles get inside your base, things start to look pretty rough for you. We'll see if Vinchester can keep this out. That longsword is definitely not going to do it. Cav also have to be a little nervous about running in here. Okay, he's going to sell out for it, but conversions should come in here. 2 knights get converted. That Boyar gets converted. Light Cav are going to dive on the monks. They can probably snipe the Treb, but they are taking a pretty rough fight in the meantime. Imp comes in for Vinch, I should say. And, well, I said Eagles running around Jericho is bad. Longswords running around Jericho is maybe not as bad, but still pretty bad. It's still pretty bad. Seba will clean that up. But Two-Ended Swordsman coming in, infantry upgrades coming in. Boyar goes real hard here. for the Slavs. Maybe not in these numbers. It's a lot of infantry for Sebastian. We have not yet seen Garland Wars. Longsword still finding raiding damage in and around Sebastian's base, but Eagles are in. Eagles are in. Usually this is a really bad thing for the other player. If Eagles ever get into your eco, it's usually game over for you, but we'll see if Vinchester can right himself here. He's going to be losing villagers on this gold. He's losing He's losing so many villagers up here. Oh my god. This wood line is a disaster zone. Boyars can't handle this amount of infantry. They don't... Well, he's getting it upgrades for the Boyar, I suppose. Two-handed swordsmen are here. Is this enough? I guess probably it is. It's a lot of pikemen in there for Sebastian, right? So if there was a better ratio of eagle to pikemen, maybe it would feel a little bit better, but with the reinforcements, that should be fine. Forward castle for Sebastian. He's also raiding back here with eagles. Eagles are just kind of strong. He's killing trebuchets with eagles. Finch can't be everywhere he needs to be with infantry, right? The eagles are too quick. So Sebastian can just be running around everywhere, killing villagers. 44 eco kills for Sebastian already. And he's just going to be streaming them in. Jaguar warriors are being added in as well. Eco mass migrating for Vinchester here off of this TC as it starts to get trebbed down. Jaguar warriors will, I mean, numbers aside, will carve through the infantry from Vinch. Obviously, 3 of them maybe not going to do that much, but you know. They do a lot of damage. Hear that thunk coming in as they swing those clubs around. And Finch is struggling to keep his numbers up here. The eagle spam, right? I say Aztecs struggle with the spam just because of their eco, but this late in the game you have a lot of eco to spam. Well... Two-handed swords are going to be doing pretty good against the eagles here, though. We're still missing attack upgrades. We're missing a lot of attack upgrades, really, for the Aztecs especially. But more of them are getting cleared up. You just keep sending more eagles, right? This is going to be bad for Seba. I'll look back there in a couple seconds. But Trebs taking out this castle. Has Sebastian actually won this matchup? Oh, he's going to lose so much here if he's not paying attention. He's going to lose so much here if he's not paying attention. Okay, he is paying attention. And this gold is so bad for Vinch. Is this his only gold or something? Why does he keep coming out here? It's not. He's lost so many vills here. He's lost like 30 villagers on this gold so far. That's the second or third huge raid on that gold. And GG is called. Vinch can't keep up with the eagle spam. Aztecs. Maybe coming into their own here at the end of the tournament. And the Knights can't stop them. Knights do not counter eagles. Infantry does not counter eagles because they're too slow. I don't know. How do you beat the eagle spam? I don't know. All right, Sebastian goes up 3-1. I think Otter, we can both agree. I was maybe underselling. I was underselling the Aztecs a bit, but the knight counter to the eagles is also not the way, which I did. That was my other statement there with the Meso Civs. It's just so tough, right? Knights don't produce fast enough and also can't deal with the monks, but the infantry is so slow, you can't keep up with the eagles, and at this point in the game, it's just almost virtually impossible because Sebastian can just send eagles. A couple eagles here, couple eagles back here, couple eagles in here. Like, he can just send some eagles everywhere, And your eco just gets absolutely destroyed. 60 villager kills for Sebastian. So welcome in. Game 5 here, Sebastian versus Vinchester. It is going to be the Khmer for Sebastian. And it is the Vietnamese for Vinch. So second overall pick for Seba. Third overall pick for Vinchester. And does Vinch go for a lame? Vinch is not super lamey as a player, but you do know where your opponent is immediately. So if you're ever going to lame with any civ, usually the Vietnamese is the easiest to do it with. But I guess he's just going to push some deer. All right, Vinchester, he's not a lamer. And, well, Khmer versus Vietnamese. I mean, the Vietnamese feel way better late in the game, I think. But how well do they survive the night spam in Castle Age? That's my only worry, really, with the Vietnamese. Both civs have really good ecos. I think Khmer eco is better, though. And at least late in the game, Khmer eco is better, obviously. Early on, maybe Vietnamese can take an early lead. I don't know. Yeah, late in the game, I don't know what you do here as the Khmer. I think it's strictly a way better civ for the Vietnamese if this goes, like, into Imp. But can the Vietnamese survive that early spam that the Khmer can do so well? This deer is super trolling Sebastian. It's fine. Hey, mill for both players. Well, I assume this is going to be a mill for Sebastian, so it's not going to be any super early militia shenanigans this time. All right. Sebastian is pretty good at putting the pressure on, though not necessarily in an all-in situation. So I'm curious to see how he... I guess I shouldn't say that. His Tatar build was pretty disgusting. If he just does the same build with the Khmer here as he did with the Tatars, it's going to be pretty rough. But we'll see. I mean, I guess like late game, if you can just be spamming Hussar into your enemy eco, that's pretty strong, right? Vietnamese don't have quite as good of a raiding option. But I just struggle if like Vietnamese can get into like Arb/Rattan with like Halb, bombard cannons. I don't know how the Khmer contend with that really. Really good scorpions, maybe. I am a fan of scorpions. I don't know if maybe that would be okay actually. Can you ever center your build around scorpions here as the Khmer late game? I don't know. Feudal Age on the way for both, though Vinchester's up quite a bit later. Almost a minute. Vinch does go for quite later builds. Vinch isn't one of these guys that likes to go up, 18, 17 pop. Alright, Feudal Age for Seba. And, well, probably going to be a stable. If I had to make a guess, I'm going to say stable. There it is. Vinch is going for very early walls here, and still no barracks for Vinchester. Vinch did go for that... He didn't click up late enough, though, I don't think. He went for that super greedy... Malian play, right? Where he just kind of like walled up and didn't do too much until Castle Age. I wonder if that's ever viable here, but he's not going to have his gold super secure. He's not going to have his stone super secure. A little unfortunate couldn't just wall here and then, like, I don't know. I guess there's nothing on the other side, really, to complement that. Alright. Barracks is up for Vinchester, and Stable comes up behind it. So, Khmer Curse. You don't go for the barracks, right? So, Stable opening is very strong. Also, if you can just mass up Cav Archers in the Castle Age, eventually that feels good against the Knights. You might run into some timing issues against the Khmer, though, so you have to be a little careful if that's your plan. Seba going for the Giga Walls. Holy. Look at this wall. Look how far away this wall is from his TC. That's crazy. Farms being added in as well. There's no way you can keep this wall secure, right? It's so far away from anything else you're going to have. Scout is in for Vinchester. Just taking a peek around. Now he's going to leave. He saw the stable, which he assumed anyway, probably. Well, the walls will complete at least for Sebastian. And, oh god. I hate walls like this. It's probably as good as Finch can do here with this map, but man, it's ugly. This does give Sebastian plenty of space for farms in the back of his base if he... I'm kind of surprised he didn't... If you're gonna go for walls this big anyway, why not just wall like that? Like, this isn't too far away for you, but this would have been? I don't know. Well, scouts are going to start knocking their way in. And I think this would be a good position to start attacking a little bit. Maybe not. Maybe you don't want to give Sebastian too big of a lead in noticing that. Lots of scouts for Seba forward. Spearmen in defense. But there could be dead vills here for Vinch. Seba finds the weak villager on the farms, kills him. I guess you don't need spears in defense if you just full wall. That's, I suppose, the idea was for Sebastian here. There are other weak villagers on these farms, but Vinchester's paying attention now. Nice angles there for Sebastian. He did lose a scout, but scout for a vill, probably a trade you are okay with at this stage of the game. And, well... farms are progressing for Sebastian back here. He's on the gold as well. 13 Khmer farms plus the berries. Really nice food income. Vinch. He's getting stuff sorted. As Seba pounces on that spearman. And... there is another spear back here, but he's going to take that fight. He loses one scout. There is another spearman coming out, but might be another dead villager here for Vinch. It is. Scouts are getting very weak now, but 2 Vill snipes is nice. That's definitely a nice start. And Seba's just going to go Castle Age. It is simply going to be a Castle Age for Sebastian. Doesn't need the extra buildings, right? So doesn't need to worry about that. Just needs a couple more pieces of gold and he will be up. Just needs a couple more pieces of gold. There we go. And Vinch not really close. He's not particularly close. No market either. Gets the blacksmith up. He invests in fletching. So Vinch is going to be really far behind to the Castle Age. This isn't a... important to note, best of 9, this is not a match point, even if Sebastian wins. This is not over yet. But you don't want to go down 4-1 for sure. Second stable being added in, so he's prepping for the night spam. Also house walling down here I think is really good. Finch is going to full wall himself in. He gets wheelbarrow, so that makes up a little bit for those villager kills. Wheelbarrow coming in faster for the Vietnamese. Wheelbarrow coming in faster for the Vietnamese. Stumbling on my words a little bit there. No over chops just yet for Sebastian. Does have to be a little careful here. He's getting close. And probably gonna have to pull one of these vills to rewall behind. But it's an easy rewall. Could just repair the wall also. Not a big deal. Alright, Castle Age is in. Light Cav and Knights coming out. No upgrades yet, but I suppose he can afford those pretty soon here. Castle Age is clicked for Winchester, but he is the full 2.5 minutes behind. And we'll see if he can survive. we will see. Seba's going to go for another TC out here. Husbandry on the way. I guess Bloodlines is in, so they're not totally unupgraded. Husbandry means these light cav, I think, can chase down the scouts. Is that true? Scouts are faster naturally, but I think... Yeah, they get faster. And, well, oh, we've got a lot of archers here. I wasn't totally paying attention to this at the time, because he was just sitting in his archery ranges with them, but that's a lot of archers. No armor yet either. This is very confident for Winchester, because if Sebastian has, like, +1 or, I mean, +2 armor would be a disaster for Winchester coming out here like this. If there were actually upgrades in for the cavalry, it's a complete clear up for free. So I'm very surprised Winchester actually jumped out of the archery ranges there. But I guess he could see the +1 armor wasn't in yet, so... Cav is in. Cav is in. Quick wall does not come down, so Vinch is going to have to come back in here and do what he can do. He's also housed immediately upon reaching the Castle Age. And he's housed. And he's housed. Vinch can't decide if he wants a university or a siege workshop back here. Okay, he's not housed anymore because he's lost all of his military in the back. But that's probably okay. Thumb Ring comes in immediately for Vinch. It's his third TC for Sebastian. I don't know. I think this gate comes in a little bit too late. That's going to be a couple more dead vills. Maybe? No. Okay. Thumb Ring is in, but Thumb Ring isn't always a great upgrade against cavalry if you can't also get ballistics. The increased accuracy just means you're missing with complete accuracy, right? So sometimes it's a little awkward. Another villager does go down there. And Sebastian can probably sell out for one more Vil kill in here, maybe, before he loses these knights. Yes. Shouldn't be another one. Yeah, before Bodkin as well, you're right. I didn't even notice that. Thumb Ring before Bodkin is very weird. Hopefully Winchester has not forgotten Bodkin. We do sometimes see players forget this upgrade, okay? There we go. It's fine. He's going to go for the second TC out there on the gold. Sebastian's taking relics. And it just feels really smooth for Seba, right? He's now really far ahead economically. He's 20 villagers ahead right now. He's already on 3 TCs, already taking relics, and the timing was just not there for Winchester. He's even sealing this relic. I'm telling you, Sebastian's going to be a big problem in the Age of Empires scene. He's gotten a lot better recently, especially. So I could see him challenging. I mean, he already beat Leary in this tournament, right? He's beaten Tatob. He's beaten ACCM. It's only a matter of time until he starts taking down the big names. And it's not just A tiers that he's performing in. He did get 3rd place in Warlords, beating quite a few big names. And giving Viper a bit of a run for his money in the semifinal. Okay, Seba's bringing back. This is the 2nd relic. He's got vision over, I think, all the relics at this point. Yes, he does. Look at the vision for Sebastian is nuts. Finches, not quite as good. It's a little bit of a difference there. Finch is going to start taking farms, though, at the front of Sebastian's base. Seba has to delete those to prevent crop shots from doing damage. Don't know why you're ever farming out here as Sebastian when you've got all this space in the back. That's maybe a force of habit. Monks behind Khmer do have surprisingly good monks. I mean, they don't get block printing later, so they fall off a little bit, but they're quite good at this point in the game. And this is a lot of crossbows. This is many crossbows for Winchester. We're getting... That's the market. Still no university. So ballistics is still a big deal here against the cavalry. And we're going to get a little bit of a siege battle again. Finch also has to keep this in the back of his mind. Probably needs to send some army. Don't want cavalry running around your base for free. Nice split for Vinch at the front. He takes out a Mangonel there with the crossbows. Scorpion's getting some decent shots, but they have to fall back in the face of the Mangonel. We are now 30. We're getting very close to 30 villagers ahead for Sebastian with the Khmer. Vinch is going imp. Vinch is going imp. He's making the university. This is his entire eco, is this imp. Oh boy, that is very risky. More stables being added in behind for Sebastian. And cart coming in for Sebastian. Still not a ton of upgrades on these cavalry. I'm very surprised we don't see some more. Imperial Age for Vinch. Okay, I don't have numbers here, but I do think Sebastian's win rate plummets if he's not the first to imp. It feels like whenever his opponent beats him to imp, he really struggles. So maybe this is okay, but I mean, he's got 50% more villagers than Winchester right now, which is usually not a good sign. That's usually not a great sign. We'll see if Vinch can actually afford anything in imp. Okay, ballistics on the way. Knights are looking around for damage, though. Vinch is on 3 TC now. +2 armor in for Seba. I did say Vietnamese have everything they need to deal with the Khmer in imp. But will we get to it? +2 armor. So these are going to be fully upgraded for the Castle Age. Knights distracting in the back as they circle in at the front. 4th TC for Sebastian on the stone. I'm surprised we don't see more relics in for... Oh, never mind. He's getting them. Okay, he's getting them. Knights denied at the left-hand side, but they're in at the bottom. Quick Wall doesn't come down quite fast enough. And this is going to be more villager deaths in here for Winchester, and he can't afford very many villager deaths. He cannot afford to lose very many villagers. Mangonel goes down. Knights are cleared up, though. Full map control for Sebastian as he is just winging knights across the field. Siege Workshop's going to go down next. Imp comes in for Vinch. Bracer. Okay, Bracer's a good start. Archery ranges in the back, but Knights are now running in. This is a lot of Knights running in as well. And Sebastian is going to want to take a fight against these crossbows before the upgrades come in. And he's taking a pretty good fight against the crossbows before the upgrades come in. Vinch can't afford to replace these very easily. Bracer's in now, but he's losing numbers. He has more in the back. Does Vinch have lag? He always seems a second too slow. He has been a second too slow quite a bit in this game especially. He's had a lot of almost moments. I don't know what their lag is. They don't live particularly close together as far as I know. I don't know for sure where Sebastian is playing from right now, but they probably don't have a great ping. So maybe Vinch is... But Vinch should be used to playing with ping, right? Almost everyone Vinch plays against is far away from him. Arbs trying to take a fight here. Scorpions were getting a lot of hits in from the back. I mean, they will win this fight, but it's not convincingly enough, and Vinch is dead, to be honest. Vinch is fully dead. The fight was not good enough. He's down to 12 arbs. His eco is non-existent, basically. Okay, I don't know about that ram. That ram might have been not quite the way for Seba, but he's a full 100% more villagers than Vinchester has right now. Oof, and the forward castle. If Sebastian idles out production for just a tiny bit, he can probably get up to Imp himself. I don't even think he needs Imp, though. Vinch is down to 57 vills. There's nothing here. It's GG. Khmer go burr. They're too strong. 72 knights for Sebastian is nuts. That's crazy. Yeah, I guess some of these players aren't too far away from Vinch. I suppose so. If the Chinese players can deal with it, I guess Vinch can, right? All right, well, that was a rough one. Vinch tried to hit him with the imp timing, but there just wasn't eco behind it. Sebastian got a great fight before a lot of those upgrades came in, and like I said, Vinch just couldn't replace this army, right? Welcome in. Game 6 here, and well, this could be match point depending on how this game goes. And Sebastian has not gone for my big brain strategy of picking his weakest civ in order to snipe a high up civ from Vinch. He's instead gone with the Lithuanians. And it's going to be the Huns for Winchester. Okay, well, Sato, I think it was Sato, right? Did break the Lithuanian curse. Or was it Sebastian? I remember. Somebody broke the Lithuanian curse yesterday. Again, this tournament's starting to blend together for me. But somebody did win with the Lithuanians, finally. So maybe the curse is over, but I'm still a little skeptical. We'll see. Winchester? Well, I said he wasn't a lamer, but here he is. He's looking around. I don't think he's going to find anything, though. Sebastian took his llamas in pretty quickly. And, well, maybe he could find a random one around the back, but the boar is right in the back, so I think Vinch is going to have to go home and see if he can prevent Sebastian from finding too much stuff here. But Sebastian might run into these llamas. He shall. Vinch will see the llamas disappear, though, so he can maybe take them back. He gets one, and he'll get two. All right. So no laming damage done just yet. Great eco bonus for the Huns. Yes, they have that amazing eco bonus of not spending like 200 wood throughout the game or whatever it is. It's like the Dravidian bonus, except spread out through the entire game and only a third of it. Sebastian, though, hold on. Sebastian is housed. Sebastian is housed. So, there you go. already paying off for the Huns here as he was forced to get Loom early. Now Vinch is going to be a villager ahead. Huge. And nice little tap there for Vinch. Okay, so how many houses are you making? Let's do the math since both players are just kind of chilling out here. How many houses are you making in an average Age of Empires game? It's 5 population per house. So if you were just maxing out on houses, that's a max of 40, right? I shouldn't do math on stream. That's the first thing they always tell you, but yeah, 10 would be 50, so yeah, 40. But then you have to count TCs, you have to count castles. But even max, that's 250 times 4, so that's 1,000 wood. Not counting destroyed houses and stuff, which can happen, but max of 1,000 wood you're saving throughout the game. I guess that's okay. I suppose that's okay. Then you do have to start getting into the deeper math of then subtracting the palisades that you're using to wall instead of houses. Plus, you're always going to have at least one castle. Realistically, if you're going to 200 pop, you're going to have a castle by then. All right, let's see. Let's say you have 2 castles. That's 40 pop, then 4 TCs, which is 20. That's 140 pop for houses, which is 840 wood. But the main thing isn't the wood cost, it's the worker time. How much time do you save building 2 walls instead of building a house? Because that's the other thing, is that on Arabia, you are still building walls with the Huns. Maybe on Arena, it makes a huge difference, but you definitely are still needing to wall here with the Huns. Yeah, I guess early on, you're not walling early as you're having to make houses, so I guess it's a bit of an early eco boost in that way. Alright, stable comes down for Vinch. He's going to open scouts. Ditto for Sebastian. Eco upgrades come in for both immediately. And house shenanigans aside, who do we like here civ-wise? Huns, their late game composition is always cav archers. Lithuanians have good skirms though. So they have an option against them. If we go super late in the game, I think Lithuanians have quite better options here. Sebastian's also going to kill this villager. Should have walled. Should have walled, Vinch. Loses a bill. You did get a small wall up on the backside of the berries, though, so at least these other 2 vills are safe until they forage through here. Also, this villager is punching diagonally through the wall. CA are the bane of Lith? Is that true? I feel like it's not that bad for the Lithuanians, is it? I feel like Lithuanians can deal with it better than a lot of civs can. Vinch looking for a Vil snipe here, and it's a lot of scouts. It is many scouts here. I don't know if you want to be fighting with Vils. I mean, they're getting damage in, but I'm pretty sure... Okay, the scouts decide not to attack there. So maybe, actually, that's fine. Spear gets in a nice hit. Somehow they always die to them. Well, somehow Lithuanians have died to everything in this tournament. That's kind of what I've been saying about the Lithuanians all tournament long, is I feel like the Lithuanians should be good here, but they end up losing anyway. So, maybe you're right. Maybe you're correct. Has it been? I don't remember. Maybe it has largely been CA. Maybe that is what it is. That would make sense if, for whatever reason, Lithuania... I still don't... I'd have to think about why they're bad against Cav Archers in particular. But if that is the case, it would make sense since everybody goes Cav Archers in this tournament. That's been like the go-to unit, right? So... yeah, I guess you can't go ARB, but I still feel like, I don't know. Bad Scorpions. There it is. You need those Scorpions. Maybe you do. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what Sebastian has planned here. He's going to, well, trying to dive on the archers being mixed in for Vinch, but it's definitely a tough composition there. Range being added in for Vinch, or sorry, for Seba, for the skirmishers. Yeah, skirms aren't great against Cav Archers just because of the mobility, but I don't know. Maybe I'm overestimating how much that... feels like skirms are one of the better options against Cav Archers, and with the extra speed, it should be a bit better for the Lithuanians than some other civs, but I guess, yeah, not having, like, good ARBs hurts. Camels work early on because they're faster, so I guess that is also a good early, like, opening against Cav Archers until they get their mass up. Alright, we've got a nice little ball of archers going here for Vinch. He also has his scouts somewhere. Looking for damage inside Sebastian's base. Speedy little spears. Still keeping up a pretty good defense against the scouts, though. And Sebastian has a lot of scouts. He has many scouts here. 11 scouts on the field. I don't know if Vinch wants to bring this... well, maybe he does. There's a lot of weak scouts in there for Seba. Taking the fight with the spears is maybe viable, but the skirms are here, so I'm not sure if this is going to be a great fight for Vinchester or not. Micro depending. Is this going to be another game where Vinchester throws away his archers to skirmishers? Maybe not. It's a nice reversal here. He has some scouts, but the skirms are sniping down the spears, which is going to make the engagement much easier for Sebastian. He's getting that armor for the scouts as well. But forging for Vinchester. Really interesting. Vinchester has consistently, I guess maybe just because he's been up against skirms so much, consistently prioritizing attack upgrades for the scouts over armor. But Sebastian hasn't really been going archers here, so maybe that's the reason. Sebastian's housed again. Just for a second. Bloodlines coming in for Vinchester, so he's... well, Bloodlines will work for the Cav Archers as well, but might imply he's looking to stay on Scouts, Light Cav, or even Knights for a while with the Forging coming in. Skirms diving on the Archers. This is a good fight for Sebastian. This is a good fight for Sebastian. Res collected is rather high for Vinchester now. It is true. And, I mean, he has played relatively open, which could come back to bite him right here, now that there's this amount of military running into his base, but we'll see if he can keep up this defense. Huns aren't to blame for the bad army trades. True. That is very true. Skirms can start harassing these resources that are walled in. It might be okay. Bloodline's on the way to match the upgrades for Vinch's scouts. And this might be this should be a good clear up for Vinch now. Seba's gonna have to fall back, try and save some scout HP for his upgrades. Bloodlines comes in. Wheelbarrow on the way for Sebastian. Military numbers are still in Seba's favor. And a lot of Vinchester's army are these archers that are only partially upgraded, but they can still provide nice support here in the Scout Wars. Second stable. Interesting. I guess he's going to go Castle Age, and then it's going to be Knight Spam for the Huns. So, maybe not Cav... Oh, sorry, third stable. Okay, it's definitely going to be Knight Spam. Vinch is going to take an okay fight there. Armor coming in for Vinch. Triple stable knights versus Lithuanians is... Well, we'll see. Scouts come in. They're going to find at least one villager kill here. I don't know why. I guess Vinch just deleted the wall to get more villagers on gold. The knight spam is going to be awkward if he can't take gold, that's for sure. He's still wide open as well. This is when walls, not having walls, I should say, starts to come back to haunt you a little bit. Seba's not totally walled, but he's mostly walled. Overchop's withstanding. It's fine to take some damage. How much damage is acceptable? I guess quite a bit if you're up this fast. He's going to lose another villager back here. That is the fourth villager Vinchester has lost, but he's going to have 2 minutes to spam knights before Sebastian can respond with monks or whatever. And Vinch is happy to just play Ring Around the Rosie with the scouts here. He's got he's matched upgrades, but Castle Age now. He goes Light Cav first. Eco is not looking perfect for a 3 stable knight spam. He goes for a second TC. I think maybe the third stable was a little ambitious for Vinchester. 2 stables I could see. 3 is going to be a little rough. And what'd you say? 8 to 10? Well, he's going to be up to 5. He's going to be up to 5. He's getting close. Light Cav coming across the field. I think we need to full wall ourselves now for Sebastian if we aren't already. I think we're fully walled. But double TC for Vinchester means he is going to gain the eco lead back regardless of the eco KD. And he's going to have the pressure forward. Sebastian's going to have to be a little waller boy here for the next little bit. He does hit the Castle Age. He's got 3 stables of his own. He gets Light Cav as well. He's got a lot of scouts on the field, so that's a big upgrade. Knights start to come out. Adds in the monastery. As you do with the Lithuanians, as Vinchester goes for a TC back here. So triple TC for Vinch. He's really going for that eco advantage. This is going to be a very scary army circling into his base, though. And he better hope that this TC goes up in time. He really better hope. Quick walls? We might need quick walls here, Vinch. We really might need quick walls here, Vinch. Well, that TC's not going up just yet, barring a great quick wall. Hold on. Okay, he gets the quick walls down, so the TC will go up. He has lost a lot of villagers now. He's lost many villagers now. Also, Knights taking a really good fight at the front at the same time. Great timing for Sebastian. Diving in with the raids, forcing Vinch to look back here, and then taking the fight while he's not looking at the front. Oh boy, that was a terrible 30 seconds for Vinchester. That was atrocious, actually. Lost like 15 villagers at home and his entire army at the front. That might be the whole set, honestly. That moment, front and back, could honestly be the entire set over. Finch is now 10 villagers behind. It's 19-7 military in Sebastian's favor. Oh boy. I mean, I've said all tournament long, right? Especially in like set deciding games. It just takes one bad moment and you're done. One bad fight, one bad raid, and suddenly it's a disaster for you. And well, res collected, not looking so hot for Vinch anymore after 20-0 eco KD. He is on, yeah, I don't see any way back into this. He's on 3 TC, but he has to produce military, not villagers here, right? Or he's just going to get overrun. He's still wide open. No walls, Vinch. This is the tournament, and you don't build any walls. Oh boy. It's done. Vinch will keep fighting as long as he can. This is the tournament, but I don't think there's any. He's just got knights everywhere in his eco. He's lost 24 vills now. Plus 2 armor coming in for Seba. And he's going to be getting relics behind this, which means his knights are going to be better than Vinch's. Even if Vinch can afford the upgrades, which he can't, unfortunately. Devotion on the way for Sebastian as the monks are starting to come out for Vinch. And probably going to see TCs being added in for Seba behind this now, I think. Although he can just raw produce it out and be fine as well. Knights have +3 attack now, thanks to 2 relics that are in. We've got another relic there. This guy's going to get another relic. And I don't know where the other one is, but it might be on its way back already. So the fights are terrible for Vinchester right now. He's an armor down and 2 attack down. So he's never taking a good fight here. He's got to hope for a bunch of monks to pull him through here, but second TC now for Sebastian. He's got 30 knights, and I hate to see the tournament end like this, but I don't see any way back for Vinch. He has evened up the eco again, at least. But for how long? Look at this. This army is crazy for Sebastian. Seba's actually playing maybe a little bit too passively. He could just run in here and force a GG immediately. As soon as Vinchester takes one more bad fight, it's over. Devotion's in. He gets a couple of conversions here, maybe. I think I only saw one, actually. And it's been a great tournament. But I think Vinchester's going to realize and say GG, congrats to Sebastian, who wasn't quite the 5-0 Tom Cruise predicted, but 5-1 over Vinchester in the grand finals, and he played so well today. Yes, Vinchester, you know, we talked about he was like a second late here or there, but it didn't feel terrible for Vinchester. I don't think he was playing that badly, especially early on. It felt like Vinch was really on top of things, but just could not pull it through here. It seemed there were more small issues as the games went on, I will say. These last couple games especially felt like a couple little issues for Vinch, but that's all it takes, right? Sometimes in these games, little issues are the only issues. So Sebastian played really cleanly. Only had a couple of small mistakes. Didn't really hurt him too bad except for that Britain's game. And Sebastian takes another A-tier tournament. Seba, the winner of ShenAiXie.